After all this time. She turns her gaze toward the rest of you. I never thought this day would come. I have all of you to thank for this, for doing this for me. The life that I recall back in the Commonwealth was at times difficult. I am much older now. I know not what I shall find on my return. However, I know this. If that place still is like the Commonwealth I left so long ago, then I shall strive to make it better, for as long as I retain my strength and breath. You see her smile faintly as she disappears into the shimmer pool, though you still can hear her voice, though faintly now. Farewell then, reader, all of you, for now. Jodariel earned back her freedom. May she return in glory.
Captain Jodariel. The 8 scribes are ever merciful. By their grace, the cycle of the rites may soon commence again.
Sir Gilman stares at nothing in particular. You sense he is still taking in what has transpired and what it means for him. So then, this night, he is to be free? He is to be free? Nay, but that would mean... Why, that would mean his honour is restored! One cannot go back into our Commonwealth by any other means. This night's exile was self-wrought, his disgrace profound. That he has been atoned under the eye of the Underking and those of all his noble comrades. He begins to grow very emotional, and then... This knight loves you all! He loves you all, that you would strive for him and let him join you in your noble quest. This knight does not feel as though he is deserving of this outcome, yet the result appears inarguable. Even now, this knight is drawn into the shimmer pool. Our time grows brief. Therefore, know this, beloved friends. This knight shall ever strive on your behalf there in the Commonwealth. Through his honour, although his honour may have been restored, his true journey only now begins. And so, good friends of the Nightwings, this knight must now bid you farewell. However, the bonds we formed together shan't be broken by mere distance. Nay. Strive on, good friends, strive on. You can still hear Sir Gilman as he vanishes into the shimmer pool. If this lowly knight could have achieved such glory, surely can you all. For now, farewell, farewell. Sir Gilman has earned back his freedom. May he return in glory.
Sir Gilman. The 8 scribes are ever merciful. By their grace, the cycle of the rites may yet continue for a while.
So, what now? I guess I'm just supposed to jump into this waterfall thing back here, and then that's it? Home free? Home free?
Something comes over him then.
Now, listen to me, chums. Don't any of you go thinking you're gonna miss me, yeah? You're gonna do just fine, even without old Rookie Greentail there to keep an eye out all the time. Even though the rest of you are just a bunch of slowpokes and all that. Me? I'm gonna be so busy drinking myself silly on Commonwealth stock, I'm sure I'm soon gonna forget each and every one of you. Excuse me? But just in case I don't, you be sure to stop by and visit if you get back there too. Just look for Mama Greentail's shop, right in the heart of town. You can't miss it. So yeah, stop by, say hi, you know. Now, I think I gotta go, so, excuse me.
He drops into the shimmer pool and disappears within, although you can still hear him going on about something.
Whoa, let me tell you, this is weird in here. Hey, it's starting. Uh-oh, wait!
Rookie earned back his freedom. May he return in glory.
Godspeed, Rookie Greentail. The 8 scribes are watching from afar. By their grace, may the cycle of the rites keep turning for as long as possible.
Teaser is stunned by what transpired and by what he thinks is about to happen. He looks around as the reality of what transpired sinks in. He realizes now that this is goodbye, at least for the time. He struggles to express the gratitude he feels at having served the Nightwings these many years. He also does not know what to expect from the Commonwealth and whether he will be accepted. Nevertheless, he vows that he will keep doing his part to the benefit of Volfred's plan. With that, he splashes into the shimmer pool and is gone from view. You hear him chirping one last time. Tizo wishes for the best for each of you and asks that you remember him. Tizo earned his freedom. May he return in glory.
Godspeed, Tizo. Perhaps the scribes are watching, even now. Watching as their glorious tradition draws to a close.
I can go home? I think this means I can go home.
She shuts her eyes.
By the scribes! By the scribes! But what will happen now to you? To all of you? Can you not come with me? No, they say not yet. The scribes, they say not yet, although I think your time will come. Your time will come. And I will wait for you, because I don't have friends back home. At least, I didn't used to, so I want you to come join me there, okay? But now, the scribes are calling me, and so, goodbye.
She falls into the shimmer pool then and is gone.
Goodbye, and please, oh scribes, watch over them, okay?
Faye earned back her freedom. May she return in glory.
Godspeed, moon-touched one. The cycle of the Rites is nearly at an end. Lo, even your adversaries have abandoned you. And it is done. The Nightwings prevail by default.
Well,
Not that their adversaries even care.
winning?
Boundless are the teachings of the scribes. Begone now from my sight.
Okay, so our final opponents there didn't even bother showing up. That is interesting. No one speaks further of the tempers back at the Black Wagon. Everyone is instead preoccupied with the rite that is to come.
Last chance then, is it? If any of us is going to get out of here still, it's this time or never. The stars always shine with truth. The ending of the cycle of rites is now upon us.
He looks over to you.
Please look forth, reader, madam, and see this for yourself. You may well surmise where we are going next.
The others turn to you as well. You turn toward the wagon's door. You know what you shall see out there. Now, however, the time has come to face it. The dim and fading light of the final star still pierces through the darkness, demanding your attention, guiding you towards the endpoint of your path. You see plain the golden star of Soliam. Look upon it for the last. There it is. So, let's just take a quick look at Volfred's planner. Liberation rites conducted, 6. 1 remaining. I have liberated 6 out of 6 in the exile rites. I have lost a couple of rites here and there, but every liberation rite I have successfully completed, which has put our probability of success up to 82%. Nightwing record is 22 and 3. All of our enemies are defeated, however. Which just leaves Orelek, I believe. Yes, there he is. Interact to challenge the true Nightwings here next. Prevail and one among you shall be free. My record against Orelek is 0 and 1. Now I can't remember if... I don't think I was recording when we first met him, but he's one of the old Nightwings. There's a whole load of backstory about what happened with them, but suffice to say he's pissed off. He's very pissed off, and he's also very, very good. So I'm not sure that I'll actually be able to beat him in this final rite. But hey, you may as well try. You are summoned to the Fall of Selium for your 7th and final liberation rite. Thus shall the cycle of rites be ended for an age. You sense that, if the rites ever shall commence again, it shall not be during your lifetime, or that of any of your companions, even the longest-lived ones. The stars revealed to you one thing more. The adversary whom you face shall be Orelek. Let's see what it says. He's a former exile of the Nightwings, betrayed and abandoned in his moment of glory. Already he has crossed Scribe's Gate, and awaits your arrival. If the 8 scribes created the Nightwings in their own likeness, perhaps it is only fitting that the Nightwings should, in the end, be forced to face themselves. It is a shame that we should have to confront Orelek in the end. Our goals should never have been at cross purposes. I am surprised that this is what the scribes desire. For now, it may be best that you recover until dawn. Regain your strength as best you can for the coming trial. Rest well, reader. The group disperses as exhaustion sets in. At dawn, you fly to Mount Elodiel to make a final effort to achieve your plan and get somebody home. But who? Well, that's simple. It's gonna be Pamitha.
Foolish reader. Your so-called friends. You are accomplice to their hateful plot. They
Yeah.
are exploiting you.
No.
You shall never have your freedom.
Possibly. But they will. Already 6 of my friends have been liberated. By dawn, you are already up and about after a troubled slumber. The Black Wagon is prepared for its final voyage to the Fall of Selium. No one speaks. As you lift into the skies, the lone minstrel raises his voice, cutting through the somber mood. Reader, a certain olden ballad comes to mind just now. I think it may befit the circumstance. Perhaps it may help to pass the time along our flight. Would you mind it very much if I were to play this song for the Nightwings? The lone minstrel wishes to play his ballad, by your leave. By all means, minstrel. You urge the lone minstrel to play his ballad so that all among you might hear it. He begins without another word.
When the stars align, the rites shall come to bear, illuminate the signs, the exiles shall be there. All are not the same, but 3 shall be as one. Freedom in flame, the end has just begun. Strength may break our own, but twisted make up brave. Together on their own, the journey shall be made. The journey shall be made.
Lovely. Pamitha or Volfred? It's Pamitha every time. She is so good with her flight. You touch down amid the fading glory of Mount Elodiel to make pilgrimage to the summit for one last time. There, one last liberation rite shall soon commence. There, one last exile shall regain his or her freedom. All others shall remain, to carry out their sentences here in the downside for the remainder of their lives. Oh boy. And in the Commonwealth, the plan of which you are a part shall either come to fruition, or shall be suppressed. Seek the Crone Scribe's favour. After having landed, you join Pamitha on an expedition to the monument of Molten Melith for what is likely to be the final time.
Well, Pamitha, here you are again. Enjoy it while you can, I guess, because it sounds like this is your last chance and everyone's. What would you even do if Rita, darling, there decided to pick you? Have you even decided yet, or need more time there, You'll always be an outcast, Pamitha. There's nothing waiting for you where you're from, and your sister hates you. Yet, you want to go back anyway, maybe because they thought they'd seen the last of you. Just imagine the looks on their faces.
Soon she is finished. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Molten Melith has shown you favour. At dawn, you shall begin your last ascent. For now, your vocations may occupy what little time you have to spare. Ooh, +3 glory. Very nice. Accept that blessing, yes please. I completed all of the middle ones, the training ones. So we've just got permanent stat bonuses, which is cool. So, all that is left is to mentor Bertrude, except it's not even going to get close to doing enough to get her to level 5, and she won't get it from the final right anyway, so she's just stuffed essentially, but whatever. There we go. Very nice. Continue our final journey. I made sure that everyone I really cared about getting out got out. So the last 3, like, I'd like Pamitha to get out, but I'm not going to cry if I lose this one. But all of the main players, Hedwyn and Jodariel and Tizo and Rookie and everyone else, they're all up there. The Imp's message pertains to Faye, who you liberated at the fall of Solium and whose past transgressions have all been forgiven since her return to the Commonwealth. You learn she was taken in by a well-to-do foster family and was to be given private schooling of the highest order in the Astralist tradition, a theocratic sect believing divine authority rests with the stars. They alone dictate the future. We all return to the stars, so much the brighter, should we live with glory. Well, that's perfect for her, she'll love that. They promised her that in time she might one day have the honour of teaching the children of the Commonwealth herself. However, she soon went her own way, insisting that the 8 scribes themselves were calling her. She started wandering again, all on her own. That is, until she located Volfrid's agents. Thus her wandering ceased, and the ranks of the revolution grew stronger. Faye also left a simple message: believe in the scribes. You thank the messenger imp for the report as your companions gather to discuss.
She better be more careful, else they'll throw her right back in here with the rest of us.
She has the manner of a saint, that one. She knows in her heart the traditions of the scribes.
That one, very powerful indeed, a sorceress of sorts. A certain air about her, most intriguing.
The news of Faye's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. You all gain +1 hope. Banishment time. Wish Faye luck, indeed. Yeah, Bertrude and Volfrid are the 2 that will not have been picked for liberation. Volfrid because he's had his time. He is masterminding this scheme, but he does not get to leave to take part in it himself. And Bertrude because she wasn't really a part of our team until later, and she seems to like it here anyway, so...
The exiles of the Nightwings? We shall not meet again after the coming rite. Tariq and I... It shall be time we take our rest, I think.
Greetings, Celeste. I would tell you that the Nightwings are prepared, though this time I am uncertain anyone amongst us feels thus.
We have a duty to uphold, Tariq.
And then what, Celeste?
And then nothing. Not for the rights or us. Not till the dawn of a new age. Now, Nightwings, step forward. Please state your names and what it is that you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate.
One by one, your fellow exiles approach her, now with sureness in their step. If I may, my name is Volfrid Sandalwood. I long as yet to see an age where freedom is one's birthright, and no longer are good people such as these forced to contend for it.
We are called Big Bertrude. We seek to fulfill the plan of Sandalwood, for we are fond of him and his beliefs, and then to go about our business. Pamitha Thane here. I came seeking my blood sister Tamitha's forgiveness, since she ended up in here because of me. Maybe something good of it can come of it as yet.
Finally, you step forth once more. You, a crippled scholar who vowed to help her friends be free again, and who managed to come this far with this group. The gate guardian observes you for a moment, then motions past the archway toward the summit.
The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Except for you, Tariq. You stay right there.
I thought you said...
The rites are not yet ended, Tariq.
He looks to her, then over to the rest of you.
Cavas.
Pardon me then, everyone. I shall be there when the stars align.
The gate guardian and the lone minstrel remain together as the rest of you depart. Here we go. Yeah, Oralek, we only got to fight him once before, but he absolutely reamed and creamed me, so I do not hold much hope. You've gained the summit of Mount Elodiel for the 7th time, the final time in which any one of you shall have a chance to leave the downside. Oh boy. Hey guys! I guess you probably heard the big news, huh? Yeah, I'm going out of business here, I guess. Just hasn't been the same, you know, what with all the stars fading out and stuff. Anyways, just wanted to say, you guys are great, and I sure am gonna miss having you guys as customers and all that. But I got some good news though, too. All my stuff, it's all on sale now, and I will throw a little extra there just for you, okay? So, enjoy, and maybe I'll be seeing you guys around, okay? Henceforth, all of Falcon Ron's goods are 5% off. Can you do 50, my dude? That'd be nice. I've never even bought stuff like consumable item. I mean, sure. May as well just buy all of this stuff for the ending, huh? This is it. This is the end. We've got there. Boom. Anything else on the previous page? I mean, there is a ton on the previous page. Oh, those are permanent. Huh. Well, I ain't getting any of them. Rip. Oh, I can sell something actually, can't I? Get one more thing. We can sell this. Jodariel casts her aura further and faster. Jodariel ain't around no more. So let's get some of this. That presence, lovely, lovely. What else can we sell? Flutter and flap abilities cost less stamina than usual. Don't need that. We do want that. Can get rid of that. Phase aura, go away. Don't need. Bertrude's blast will. Well, I'm not sure if we're even actually using that, but whatever. That's pretty good. So Gilman jumps further than usual. Don't need it. Have we got enough for these? Nice. There we go. Thanks, guys. Good luck in that thing you're going to do tonight. So long, my friend. Right, let's sort out who's getting what. Okay. After Bear banishes an adversary, spawn a moondrop. Which, that's no good. Why are we using that? Right, what do we want? Presence, quickness. Quickness would be good for her. Let's give a bunch of that. Hope, sure. We definitely want presents for you, you big boy. Quickness could be good. Yeah, permanent +1 presents. Have that. Go on then. Bertrude. +4 hope. Because yours is actually... Your hope's pretty low, huh? What's 23, 22, 17? Let's give you some more hope then. What about... Let's give Pam permanent +1. Volfrid. I don't know. Bertrude, you can have permanent quickness. Okay, what have we got left? We've got 4 quickness, and 4 presence. Let's just make you one big boy. You can have that. 36 presents now, and then a quickness for you, and a quickness for you. Lovely. There we go. Making use of our money right at the end of the game. While flying, after dousing the adversary's pyre, may instantly return and deals +3. Sure. Pretty good. He's got the blink transport further. That's very nice. We don't need more money. Where's the Bertrude thing? Pierce through solid objects. Very nice. Very nice indeed. We are ready to go. Commence the final liberation. You've gained the summit of Mount Elodial for the 7th time. Very few stars remain above to light your way as you await the commencement of the final liberation rite. Oh yeah, and just to catch you up on what's been going on, why this is the final one, the stars have been going out very slowly at first and then faster and faster, so yeah, there's no more stars to do liberation rites after this one. This is the end. The Lone Minstrel finds you clutching the Book of Rites, seeking there perhaps some bit of wisdom that has eluded you thus far.
Reader, we may not have a chance to speak again after this. I may have to go. I wish to say that I am grateful for having made your acquaintance, and I shall remember you with fondness. I wish you well this night and always. Go forth with glory.
Then he looks up and extends his hand in friendship. You clasp it. You see Bertrude has joined you. All of your companions are there with her, in fact.
Reading one, thou art both wiser and less irritating than most others of thy kind. We have learned something from thee, and we are grateful.
It is strange for me to say, given the circumstances of our meeting, reader, but it has truly been a pleasure. Onward now. Let us achieve our plan. 82%.
Well, reader darling, what do you say we give those old scribes the real show to remember them, shall we?
You look upon your fellow exiles, your companions, with whom you've withstood the downside and with whom you shall now conduct this final rite.
Begging your pardon, but my time has come. We shall see each other soon.
He departs. After this night, the outcome of Volfrid's plan, the plan of which you have all been a part, shall be decided, one way or another. For now, all you can do is strive to prevail against your final adversaries, so that one last companion may go free. You rise to join your fellow exiles as the last remaining stars ignite. The final liberation rite of this age shall now commence. Let us stand together. These are Titan stars, which make it harder in exchange for more XP. No thanks. I do not want to make it harder against this dude. This dude has brutalized me before. Having come this far, you need but take the final steps upon your quest for freedom. Well, Pamitha will probably be getting half of our dunks, but I don't know how we're going to do the rest.
Upon the fall of Solium, dear reader.
Volfrid is not a dunker himself.
For one last time.
I guess Bertrude will have to make do.
the few remaining stars shall fade away,
I hope we can do it.
leaving you stranded there for your remaining days.
I hope we can beat Aurelek. I don't want to let him go free.
Land where you deserve to be.
But he just dunked on me so hard the first
rabble
time.
that you roused here in the Commonwealth shall be put down. The exiles whom you liberated, all shall fall in line. But first, let us get on with this last liberation rite.
Finally.
You face
Finally.
none other than yourselves.
It has been a long
So
time coming.
unlike the glorious Nightwings of yore, 'tis a shame that one of you shall soon be free, for you deserve each other.
I've had to record off camera. Sorry, I've had to record off camera. That doesn't make sense. I have had to play for about 5 hours off camera to get from where I was at the end of last part to this part. Like, there's so much padding, it feels like. And I get what they were trying to do, but it is just padding. And it is kind of annoying. Oh man, I'm so glad we're finally here.
The pyres burn, and each of the tries is present and prepared.
But before the lone minstrel can concur as per the custom. Not another word. The demon Aurelek slowly raises his clawed fingers to his mask. The false Nightwings have arrived at last. Long have I awaited this. My freedom once was stolen from me. Then I was cheated of it here upon this mountaintop. You may now attempt to take it from me once more. He stands there for a moment, silent. Then Aurelek dons his mask and stands prepared. May these damned rites cease forever for the misery which they caused. Okay, they've got 140 life in their fire. Oh boy.
Nightwings, we shall not meet again after tonight, for the cycle of rites is all but ended. Thus I would have your decision. On whose behalf shall you conduct this final liberation rite? The one whom you anoint, or else the exile Aurelek shall be returned.
Godspeed, reader. You know what is at stake better than I. I have utmost faith in you to make the best decision and conduct this rite with glory.
Nightwings, the star's remaining light grows dim. Your decision, please.
It is time now to choose who, if anyone among you, shall go free this one last time. The rest of you shall remain in the downside to the end of your days. One by one, you meet the gazes of each of your fellow exiles. Pamitha, Volfrid, Bertrude. Your fellow exiles, your companions, your friends. Together, you have come this far, but now the downside and the rights conspire to tear your group apart and disrupt your plan. Are you prepared to choose this one last time? Yes, for there is no turning back. Or no, you can actually say no. Seems both cruel and unfair. Is there no other way? Yes, for there is no turning back. With but a glance, you reassure your fellow exiles that you know what to do.
One final opportunity for salvation.
Oh boy.
Too bad for the rest of you.
Moves 30% faster after banishing. Permanently gets a ton of quickness. Dash ability in rapid succession for less stamina. And while flying, she moves faster than usual. Pamitha, you are today's lucky winner. Boom.
I tell you that you've made a terrible mistake there, reader darling. But I think you haven't made as many as I have, so I'll try not to mess this up for either one of us.
Your choice is cast. As for your other companions, you sense a clarity of thought and purpose in each of them. They stand ready to support Pamitha, as well as you.
Who shall lend her support?
Volfrid, my main man. Sorry you can't go back yourself to see your plan completed, but it's only right.
Volfrid.
Assuredly, my girl. Besides, we stand against Aurelek. It is fitting that I should have to confront him myself. And Bertrude. Well, what can I say? You like it here anyway.
Bertrude.
Thy will is ours, reading one. Let the remaining stars shed their last light upon our ceremony here.
It is done.
Those are to be my adversaries then. And who is it, I wonder, who asserts her will over that group?
You sense Aurelek searching for you, almost, reaching out to you.
You, the shadow of the false Nightwings. They are nothing to me, but you who would relinquish your own liberty for the sake of them. Strange. It is fitting, then, that I should have to face one such as you.
Then, Aurelek stands at the ready, signaling for his two allies to do the same.
By light of dawn, the cycle of the rites shall cease. Let us see if we can finish this ordeal before that time.
The sky above begins to shudder. The final liberation rite is about to commence.
Tariq, I am prepared, Celeste. Then let our song this evening shake the stars themselves. Aye, Celeste, let us make sure of it.
This is it. Oh, come on, please let me win.
Begin. The final chance at liberation for the age.
Well, there's a start. There is a start.
You wear the raiments once again.
I could not simply stand by and do nothing, Aurelek.
Yet, that is what you did. When last we stood together on this blasted mountain, I fell. You simply stood.
Aurelek, what shall it take for you to be convinced I took no part in your betrayal? Aurelek seems to consider the question, but only for a moment.
Give me my damn freedom. Let me prevail. Here and now.
Would you promise to uphold our plan? To bring about a better Commonwealth?
No. I make no promises. I owe you nothing.
Then, I am sorry, Aurelek. My love of country comes before all else. More than your freedom, and our friendship is at stake.
Your love be damned, Volfrid. Let us stand as adversaries then.
Ow. That didn't go so well. Shit. Shit. No! Oh, god damn it. I'm just completely shitting the bed in every way. Nope. Nope. No! Oh, God. He is posing a problem. Shit. Fuck! No! Oh, shit. This is not going well. No! No! Oh, this is so hard. No! Oh no, they're gonna get it. There's no way. Damn. This is hard.
The sky rains ash. Soon shall your own pyres mingle with them.
Just then, the skies above begin to rain down fire. The final throes of the cycle of rites and the ending of the age. Okay. What the?
Wherever did the Nightwings go?
Excuse me?
Changed that Aurelek. Grown old and bitter lo these. Oh. Splendid. Punishment for all.
Okay, okay. What is that? Oh shit, that's... You can't stand in that. Oh, damn it.
Too bad.
Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Oh, no, you bastard. Oh, no, how did they... Oh, no, I didn't even notice I passed it all the way over there.
All of you, you shall rot here. You shall rot as I have these many years. You false Nightwings, who would deny me once again my rightful liberty. You, who deny that liberty to all of the tries you face and vanquish under the guise of the traditions of those blasted scribes. Come, let us continue with this glorious affair.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose to him. He is just... Their team is just so OP. It's unbelievable. Oh, well, there's one more in.
So the false Nightwings bear their fangs at last. But that cannot be your finest effort. You think you deserve your freedom more than I? Then fight for it, damn you.
Oh, come on. How was I supposed to get in there? Oh, you bitch.
Better than that.
No. No.
Cut bird roots faster than she looks.
Okay, okay. This is going better. This is starting to go better.
Wings keep this up.
Oh, you bitch. Shit. Shit. Oh, god damn it. Oh my god, this is so hard. I can't, it's unbelievable how tough this last one is. Damn it. What? God damn it. If when they take it out eventually, I do get an extra 40 back because of a thing that I have from Volfrid, so it's not all bad, but I'm getting pretty screwed here. Oh my god, how did he move that fast? Shit me, that's not what was supposed to happen. Oh, don't believe it! No! How is this occurring? Oh my god! Their AI is like absolutely insane. Your pyre's flames now threaten to die out at any moment. Orelek makes a sound like laughter, but says nothing as he prepares one last assault against your side. Like, I truly don't think it's possible to beat these guys. The AI on that is just absolutely ridiculous. Shit me. Okay, that's a bit better. Man, if I get one more, I win. And if they hit me again, I gain 40, so... Orelek stands breathing heavily. He looks back on the thin lick of flame that is his smouldering pyre, before turning his attention back to your try. Shit. Shit. Oh my god, I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna do it!
And there it is. The Nightwings proved their worth.
Oh my god.
They surpassed their adversaries in the end.
We did it. We did it.
Thus ends the liberation rite. And thus, the scribes have chosen.
Not bad there, reader darling. Just another night in the downside, no?
You look upon Pamitha for what you expect shall be the last time you see each other. Any moment now, the Shimmer Pool shall engulf her. Any moment now, she shall return to glory and join with Volfred's agents in the Commonwealth to help achieve the plan. Any moment now, the cycle of the rites shall end until at least the dawn of a new age. Any moment now.
And thus, the scribes have chosen.
God, he's sounding like he's on his last legs.
The scribes have chosen.
Uh,
And thus, the scribes have chosen.
is it not happening?
No. Nightwings. Reader. What have you done?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Damn. That's not her voice. Damn. Did we already miss our chance?
Each prior time upon the fall of Soliam, the Shimmer Pool has opened, following the liberation rite, and taken in whichever exile prevailed. But now all is still, and the light of the stars above has all but died. You sense a growing fear that it is already too late, that the Shimmer Pool shall not reveal itself again. Orelek appears, his head bowed.
The 8 scribes save their greatest treachery for last.
Then something else catches his notice.
Wait.
A sudden rush of starlight cascades through the stillness of the summit. The Shimmer Pool has appeared again, different somehow, but open. Pamitha looks upon it, but it does not engulf her, or at least not yet.
It seems I was mistaken then. The 8 scribes. This is not their greatest treachery. It is their greatest jest. The Shimmer Pool is flung wide open. It seems that all are worthy now of freedom.
Orelek strides toward the Shimmer Pool, but...
Halt, Orelek.
Orelek glances over at the lone minstrel, almost in surprise.
The Shimmer Pool has lost most of its strength. You step inside, and you shall surely drown. Of that, I can assure you.
He laughs to himself at this.
Then we have all been cheated.
No, the Shimmer Pool is revealed, and one of you may still return as planned. But, as for who returns, someone shall have to choose. Ere the last light of the stars is extinguished, and the rites cease to be, this is the final trial of the scribes.
The final trial of the scribes. Then, our confrontation, the liberation rite, it all was meaningless?
No, the victor of the confrontation is to be the one to make the choice among those closest to the scribes, either the anointed or who or she who anointed them.
Then, it's sounding rather like I can get out of here. Though, maybe you can, reader darling.
It shall be either you, the reader, or...
It shall be either or.
Pamitha, please make your decision quickly, lest it shall be forfeit. I do not know for how much longer the light of the stars shall offer you this gift.
Quite the dilemma, but I think I know which way I'm leaning here. Reader darling, do me a favor now and go. Get out of there, before I start having second thoughts.
Aw, Pam, you don't have to do that. Pamitha wishes to give up her freedom so that you may regain yours.
Very well. Reader, madam, the choice which Pamitha made, or rather, the choice which she gave, it is now yours to make instead.
This choice, it may keep bouncing back and forth like this. Absurd.
It may, until such time as one of you is willing to accept the burden and the outcome of the choice. That is the trial, and I fear there is little time remaining now.
Huh. Reader, if you and your companion are too cordial with each other to accept that freedom, either one of you, then I shall gladly take it. Freedom ought to be more than some flirtatious trifle to exchange.
Reader, what is your will?
Who shall finally go free? Choose yourself. This is your chance, and Pamitha wished that you should take it. Choose Pamitha,
Your intention this night was for her to return to glory, and it shall be done. Or choose Oralek. He earned his rightful freedom long ago. He deserves his justice. Well, it ain't gonna be Oralek. I'm sorry, my dude. But you ain't one of us. You're a bit of a bitch. It's not happening for you today, son. So, that leaves me and Pam. And Pam, I gave it to Pam. I chose Pam. And then Pam said no and wants us to go. Which, I mean, sure. Who am I to turn down the person who I initially selected? If that's your will, Pam, then here goes nothing. Your mind is made up. You've chosen to be free yourself. I see and understand. Then it is done. Pamitha looks to you, this one last time, her heart filled with unspoken understanding. You turn then to the lone minstrel for an instant, but another instant later, he's gone. He and everyone. All you feel is the coldness of the rush of water coursing all around you. Pamitha gave her freedom so that you may yet have yours. May you return in glory.
Godspeed, reader.
And here I go.
By the scribes. No stars remain aloft.
This is it. We've reached the end.
Of the rites. It is finished. The Commonwealth. What shall become of it? What
We're
shall
about to
become
find
of
out.
us?
We are about to find out.
The opportunity to gain your freedom from the downside. Was it not enough?
Oh boy, how is this going to play out? Finally, I'm about to see something new! Yes, I've just been repeating the same thing over and over for like 6 hours now! Come on. Show me the ending, please. Don't you dare have the ending just be a text scroll. I will scream. That night, an exiled reader returned to the Commonwealth. She was to be the last. The stars had faded, and the cycle of the rites had run its course. You better not just have a text scroll as your ending. She found the Commonwealth in great upheaval. Spurred by the efforts of 6 liberated exiles, Volfred Sandalwood's revolutionary plan had incited the masses. These exiles and the starless sky portended the return of the scribes. The people surged into the streets, shoulder to shoulder. Led by the 6 exiles, their voices shook the heavens. The leadership of the Commonwealth panicked. No blood was shed that night, and by dawn it was over. The leaders of the Commonwealth had cast themselves back into exile, or joined in this new cause. Thus, in its 838th year, the Commonwealth had fallen. The new Saurian Union declared its sovereignty in the next year. Among the changes its elected leaders ushered in, they vowed never to cast their people into exile, and they abolished the old Commonwealth decree forbidding literacy. Today, we still remember all of this. And we remember the exiles of the downside, whose deeds led to the dawning of our age, whether they returned or not. Oh, hello. That is pretty. What are we doing? That's Hedwyn? What do you... Oh, I clicked Faye instead of Hedwyn. The Commonwealth had never provided a sense of home for the one they had called Faye the Fair, so she was surprised on her return that she was so well treated. She felt uneasy about it, and besides, she knew that she would do her best to fulfill the pledge she had made to her friends. Even she could not have expected the impact she would have on the events that followed, which gave rise to our Saurian Union. Despite not fitting the image of any of the 8 scribes, Faye nonetheless stood out alongside the others, amid the teeming masses on the night of the scribes' return. She spoke of the scribes with such conviction and sincerity that the crowd was very moved. After the fall of the Commonwealth, there was a renewed interest in the legend of the 8 scribes and many new interpretations of their histories and teachings. Faye found herself at the centre of all of this. Her way of speaking continued to compel a growing audience. She swayed many people from their astralist beliefs. Soon, the 8th Word, which had lost favour with the people during the reign of the Commonwealth, sought her out and asked her formally to join. And she did right away. Among her friends, she always remained close with Tizo, who, more so than anyone, could always make her laugh. She cited her relationship with Jodariel as the single most important in her life. Jodariel would always provide for her a circumspect perspective and the wisdom of experience. Whenever she felt genuine doubt, which was not very often, she sought out the reader of the Nightwings. If there was anyone whom she trusted as much as the scribes, it was her. Faye always was devoted to her faith, but more so to her friends. Many people in the Sarian Union cited that her gentle manner and unwavering conviction helped them brave the changing times with courage and with grace. Oh man, this is going to be a ton of reading, isn't it? Oh boy. Strap in. This episode is going long. Tizo, my man. The imp called Tizo was the first of his kind to achieve liberty through the rites. While he was not the only imp trained in the ways of the scribes, imps are native to the downside and thus care not for travelling abroad. This made them useful to tries. Yet Tizo had a different calling, and the Nightwings believed that he too could play a key part in Volfred's plan. During the night of the scribes' return, he stood out to the populace as something of a miracle. They had only heard of downside imps before, from legends of Haub the Swallow. Afterwards, he became something of an icon, representing both the fall of the Commonwealth and the beginning of a new era. He would visit his friend Faye at every opportunity. She was among the few who could consistently interpret what he meant, and they were always close since first they met. Volfred would sometimes send him little gifts all the way from the downside. Despite the insurmountable distance between them, their friendship proved more than resilient. He often chirped about the reader of the Nightwings, with whom he built quite a rapport. The reader understood him, perhaps better than anyone. And Tizo would often express wistful gratitude for all his time conducting the rites alongside the Nightwings, who made such sacrifices for him. Other than that, Tizo was diligent about his role as something of a living artifact, and helped interpret for the messenger imps that relayed news to and from the downside. Despite having gained significant celebrity, he never let it go to his head, although he did take full advantage of his access to the Sarian Union's fishing industry. After the cycle of rites ceased turning, records of what happened to the Black Wagon of the Nightwings became inconclusive and contradictory. Some accounts suggest the exiles of the Nightwings who remained in the downside continued to make use of the Black Wagon as their place of shelter and their means of travel. However, there's no record of what happened to the wagon's contents, such as the Book of Rites or the Beyonder Crystal, said to be haunted by the apparition Sandra the Unseeing. One possibility is that when the lone minstrel took his leave, he took the Beyonder Crystal with him, for he was thus obliged. By this line of reasoning, however, the Black Wagon itself should have been taken also. Others remain skeptical that the Beyonder Crystal ever existed, or rather that the visions that it granted were anything other than the result of an active imagination or a fever dream. The bog dwellers of the southern bogs offer still another explanation, for they are familiar with binding enchantments. If there existed such an object in which the Sisters of the Arch had been expelled for more than 800 years, then the enchantment could have expired along with the light of the stars. What this would have meant for Sandra and the Beyonders is difficult to say for certain, other than it may have meant they were finally released. Nevertheless, the fates of Sandra and the Beyonder Crystal remain unknown. Yet those exiles of the Nightwings who claim to have seen this apparition all spoke of her with degrees of reverence or perhaps a little fear. After the rites ended, Pamitha Thane parted ways with the other Nightwings, stating that she needed time alone. She reappeared sometime after the fall of the Commonwealth, although she expressed mild surprise at the news. She claimed to have had no knowledge of what went on, including what role the Highwing remnants had in events that reshaped the world on the other side. For her part, Pamitha feigned little interest, making the point that they were stuck and what happened elsewhere had little to do with them for now. Someone with whom she kept in contact with was the bog dweller Big Bertrude. They would discuss all sorts of matters long into the night, and sometimes hunt together too. One day, while travelling to Black Basin, Pamitha ran into her blood sister, Tamitha, for the first time since the conclusion of the rites. Their reunion was not as amicable as Pamitha might have hoped, and Tamitha, still resentful of their history together, turned violent. Pam would later brush aside the incident, though always had an injury to show for it. Yet from that point on, the blood sisters were back on speaking terms, at least for the most part. Having long since felt she had no home to call her own, Pamitha continued travelling about the downside. As the Tempest swept across the land, charging its... Oh shit, I didn't mean to click A. She said such travels tended to remind her of when she was younger, and could fly unfettered. Did not mean to click that. Whoops. Sorry. With the rites drawn to a close, the slug market's revenues fell precipitously, and Falcon Ron was forced to liquidate his assets and close up shop. Yet, as it is sometimes the case with those of an entrepreneurial leaning, this time of hardship led to an epiphany, or at least a sudden change of fortune. One day, Falcon Ron had a run-in with a messenger imp bearing news from the other side. Ron gave it to one of his remaining trinkets, which could not be sold. The following week, the messenger imp returned to him, bearing a tidy sum of wealth, in newly minted coinage from the Sarian Union. Falcon Ron got a long-term deal with the messenger imp then and there. Though his trade remained a grey area from a legal standpoint, the newfound fame of the downside caused Falcon Ron's goods to explode in popularity. He later signed an elaborate agreement with Big Bertrude's and found a distribution partner on the other side through Rookie Greentail, whose own business had expanded. Especially in the Union, Falcon Ron's goods are still known for their superior quality, though he assumes no liability for any side effects. After the cycle of rites ceased turning, the lone minstrel bade the remaining Nightwings take the Black Wagon and seek their fortunes elsewhere in the downside. Their parting was heartfelt but brief. He remained there at the summit of Mount Elodiel with Celeste, where the two of them would chronicle the final outcome of the cycle. Neither Tariq nor Celeste were ever seen again. We know all this now through song attributed to them. Some claim these songs were originated in taverns of the Union and merely were imbued with the weight of folklore. However, exiles liberated from the downsides corroborated each other's claims at having met this duo that presided over the liberation rites. Another folktale suggests these minstrels were heralds of the scribes. Having fulfilled their obligations, they departed the world we know and rejoined their patrons. One of their famous songs described another simpler outcome. The two gave up their duties to the rites in favour of a life that they could share together. In any case, they are likely to remain the subject of such verses and songs, for it was they who watched over the rites and ushered in our times. Several exiles of the Nightwings cared more for the plan of Sandalwood than to return home from the downside. The crone called Big Bertrude was a prime example. She found suitable environment to live within the dismal region known as Flagging Hands. There she had built up a thriving place of business known to many exiles in the land. With the rites having ended, she returned to her preoccupations, working away almost as though nothing had happened. When one gets to be more than 400 years of age, perhaps then even the monumental events such as the culmination of the rites or the collapse of the Commonwealth are seen as trifling matters. Much of her effort was doubtless due to the influence of Sandalwood, someone whom she had admired now for decades. He had made clear that he could not requite her feelings for him, but what could have been a hurtful dismissal led only to a deeper understanding between them. She maintained an unlikely kinship with the Harp, Pamitha Thane, whom she had known during their time together on the Nightwings. They each had different strategies for dealing with life's day-to-day annoyances, a subject they both found vital, if not fascinating to no end. By and large, Bertrude kept focused on her work. Whether casting small enchantments, imbuing talismans, the work brought her a sense of purpose, she would say. In the Commonwealth, such services were strictly forbidden, but in the downside, there was a real need for simple luxuries which the competing slug market could not always provide. Thus did Big Bertrude continue to live up to her name, and the tales of her days with the Nightwings made her that much more of a living legend. When the cycle of rites ceased turning, Volfred Sandalwood turned toward the starless sky and closed his eyes and prayed. It was all he could do at that stage of his plan. He aspired to assemble with liberated exiles representing each of the 8 largest ethnic groups composing the population of the Commonwealth. They would stand together as a vision of the 8 scribes returned, inspiring the masses to embrace an older set of values from before the Commonwealth had tightened its grip. With the rites ending sooner than expected, this ideal scenario became impossible. Sandal's own freedom, for instance, was now forfeit, yet the plan did have contingencies. Fortunately, most of those contingencies did not prove necessary. Word reached him that on the night of the scribe's return, his fellow liberated Nightwings stood together, and their voices echoed through the streets. These former exiles, who ought to have disappeared into the ranks of the Commonwealth's own leadership, now stood united with its people, who poured from their homes in solidarity. It was imperative to Sandalwood that this stand against the Commonwealth be peaceful in its nature. An overwhelming show of popular support would be more than enough. Ensuring this was his priority, and in the end the result was self-evident. The plan's goal had been achieved. Sandalwood kept busy after that, as much as possible, providing counsel from afar to those who would be at the forefront of the birth of the Saurian Union. Of course, being stranded in the downside meant that there was only so much he could do. Resting assured that the future of the nation was in capable hands, he turned his attention to the remaining exiles of the downside. They might never return to that new nation, but at least they could experience its triumphs and its struggles in some vicarious way. So he took to his old work, writing and printing. As literacy began to spread again throughout the Saurian Union, so too did exiles of the downside take to it. For his part, Sandalwood helped to teach each as many as he could. More than that, he provided the material to read, a semi-annual report about the latest events both in the Saurian Union and the downside. This periodical gave many exiles something to look forward to. He enjoyed exchanging letters with the reader of the Nightwings, who kept him well abreast of how their other comrades and the fledgling nation fared. As Volfred Sandalwood gained more fame throughout this land for all his sacrifices and contributions, it is said he remained steadfast about 2 things. The first was the cause itself ought to remain in focus. The freedom the people had achieved, it was a gift to be cherished, a set of values that needed to be nurtured. The second point he made was that he himself had little to do with the outcome. He would often praise the exiles of the Nightwings who had stood with him, each in turn by name. He never forgot any of them. One day, to commemorate his birthday, the people of the Saurian Union unveiled a monument depicting him and the Nightwings as imagined in their prime. While Sandalwood did not learn of it until much later, it is said he was moved to tears by the gesture. It is since ensured that those of us with memories more fallible than that of Sandalwood likewise remember the achievements of his fellow former exiles and our cause. When the worm Gilman returned to the Commonwealth, he believed he'd regained something even more important than his freedom, his honour. Gilman relinquished his knighthood and declined an opportunity to serve as captain on the Blood Border. He was not interested in fighting any longer. Yet, as is sometimes the case with those such as he, a circumstance soon came about in which there came a need for him to once again make use of his military training. Thankfully, however, the scribe's return ended peaceably. Gilman was on edge throughout that night, expecting violence to erupt at any moment, but the moment never came. When the matter was at last put to rest, then Gilman truly knew this time as the night had ended. He declared to all those in earshot he would never fight again. Unless, of course, there arose some other extraordinary set of circumstance, again requiring him to fight, but he certainly hoped not. He still trained regularly just in case, especially with his fleet-footed friend, Rookie Greentail. He was always grateful for the counsel of the reader, and would regale her over and over about the time they squashed the spawn of unfathomed plurns. By that point, he had long forgotten about his days under the leadership of Sir Deluge, his former commander. Breaking free of his abusive leadership was the first step toward gaining a bit of self-respect. Gilman never did return to his homeland of the Sea Dominion, and was content to lead a monastic life on a small residence in the hills. It was just high enough to make him keep striving to conquer his fear of heights. Other than that, an intense daily training regimen and occasional visit from an old companion were more than enough to keep him optimistic and engaged. He knew by then that honour was not something to be won, but a contract with oneself to be renewed each day. Yikes. I'm going to have to rush through these ones, so I'm unfortunately not going to be able to read these because I only have like 10 minutes left. I did not expect this to take so long. I thought it was going to be just a fairly quick cutscene or something and then ending. So I'm about to whiz through all of these. Also, I don't really know, like, I truly don't care about most of these characters, like on the right. They were funny in like their little small doses, but au revoir, Barker. But they're not people I really care about seeing like what happens to them. And what happens to them is they all just stayed in the downside essentially. So it's just sad times to be all of them. Okay, we'll have a look at Aurelek. After the shimmer pool closed for what would be the last time, Aurelek looked around him in the flickering light of the Nightwing's still burning pyre. He then turned to the fall of Solayam and looked up toward the black, starless sky. He cursed the 8 scribes then, one after the other. After that, he strode forward toward the waters coursing from... Is it coursing? Coursing from the side of Mount Elodiel, and without hesitating, he cast himself down. Aurelek's body was never recovered. The drop from Mount Elodiel does not appear survivable, though Aurelek did survive it once. That time, however, he was filled with fury, such was the betrayal he had suffered when his fellow exile claimed his rightful freedom. This time, Aurelek was filled with nothingness, and chose to leave the downside in the one way he still knew he could. The other Nightwings who were witnesses to this never forget what they saw. Okay, the last 3. Rookie. After Rookie Greentail earned back his freedom, he returned to a lavish welcome ceremony in the Commonwealth, as was the tendency for liberated exiles. It was everything he could have hoped for, and soon he was well off, surrounded by luxury, and choosing between various exciting opportunities. However, he must have given in to his better judgment, as he did end up siding with Volfred Sandalwood's revolutionary forces as promised. On the night of the scribe's return, he was there with many others, inspiring the masses. He never looked prouder, the very image of Jurmur Many-Mane himself. When dawn finally came, it became clear the Commonwealth that everyone knew would be no more. He realised many new opportunities awaited. He began quite a lucrative career manufacturing and selling replica merchandise inspired by the downside. His main struggle was to meet demand. An aspect of his conscience cautioned him against making light of such a thing, but the money was too good, and soon his family was as well off as he always said. He also kept in close touch with Gilman, ever the perfect practice partner. They would train together often, taking care to stay in tip-top shape as much as possible throughout the years. Greentail always did his best to keep in touch with all his many friends, and knew that he owed his fortunes to them. He made a special point of staying close with the group he knew come to know so well during his time with the Nightwings wherever they were. They shared a special understanding that put even Greentail at a loss for words sometimes. Jodie. After her liberation, Jodariel soon became an icon of the movement that led to the collapse of the Commonwealth and the rise of the Saurian Union. Her horns and stern countenance inspired the people to believe she was Solium Mer, reborn. She became a great, if reluctant, leader. In the uncertain times that followed, Jodariel's seasoned expertise often came into play both in matters of security and of state. For instance, she conscripted and trained a team of volunteers in public safety. The community did not know what to make of such a cordial bunch at first, but soon they came to value their service. They have stood for the people ever since, and we celebrate their founding day each year. She remained close with Hedwyn all through this experience, and they supported each other through their struggles many, many times. She kept an eye on Faye, who nonetheless demonstrated a surprising knack to get by on her own, though Jodariel was always willing to provide assistance just in case. She continued training on her own, a regimen that grew stricter with each passing year. There were those who sought to train with her, and she sometimes obliged. There remained one other constant in her life. She would always remember her days among the Nightwings, and with fondness for the most part. And finally, Hedwyn. After his liberation, Hedwyn was instrumental in the events leading to the fall of the Commonwealth and was... Jesus, I keep hiccuping now. Too much reading, and was vital to the outcome of the plan. The peaceful outcome of the scribe's return was attributed to several key factors. One of them was the underlying ambition of the plan itself. Another was Hedwyn's visibility among the people in the streets. Identified to be a liberated exile, he was believed to be Golothanian reborn. More importantly, however, was that one of the winged harps of the High Wing remnants accompanied him. She was later identified as Vakani Shang. Ah. Their bond was symbolic of what was at stake that night, and proved vital to the peace that followed. In all his days as the leader in the Saurian Union, Hedwyn oft confided in his friend Jodariel. Despite her intense manner, there was no one whom he trusted more in times when circumspection was required. Hedwyn would often think back about the vow he made at the beginning of his quest for freedom. Although he cherished all the friendships he made, he had pledged to Jodariel, Rookie Greentail, and the Reader of the Nightwings that they might all be free again together. His promise had come to pass, though he always knew that this was not his own doing. He was always deeply grateful to the other three, his closest friends. While the others who stood with the Nightwings were not all able to remain in contact thus, Hedwyn thought of each of them often, and so in turn did they oft think of him. There is one more account which warrants mention. The Nightwings conducted the rites under the guidance of a reader. Little is known of her. However, some accounts of her begin to paint a picture. We know she was of common birth, weak-framed, though raised with a penchant for learning. The journey to the downside left her close to death. It was then that the Nightwings found her. They brought her from the brink, she showed them the path. She pressed onward with the others, she made a vow to help her friends be free. Thus did the cycle of the rites commence its final turns. When the final rite arrived, the reader's freedom was at stake. That freedom she indeed achieved ere the morning's light. From that point on, accounts of her diverge. It is said the voice which troubled her she never heard again. Some say she helped to form our Saurian Union, though whether that is true only she knows. Some day perhaps the reader's own star shall emerge. Then it shall pierce the dark of night in all its brilliant glory. Until such time, and ever after, all of us give thanks.
Their journey began on a barren waste where the reader arrived.
Oh my god, my mouth hurts from reading all that.
Afraid and alone.
Phew. What are we looking up at here?
When she arrived, the book of rites awakened the Nightwings and ignited the flame. They follow the stars bound together.
Is that Hedwyn?
Strands in a braid till the end. We sing of the last of the night.
And Jodie. And I'm gonna guess Rookie's gonna be behind her? Can't have Jodie and Hedwyn without Rookie, right? Right? Right.
Hedwyn prevailed and strode the path that his heart laid before him. He has found his way home. Captain Joe Dariel,
They're singing about them.
mother
That's cool. There we go. That is Pyre. My god. The first, all the first, like, all the parts right up until the first Liberation Rite, I loved every second. And then I discovered that you have to do that, like, 7 times total. Or was it 8? It was a lot of times. And it did get shorter in the final ones as the stars started going out. You had to do less rites on your way back to the Liberation Rite. But still, holy shit, it took like 5 or 6 hours extra when the game could have just finished and been perfect when you first get up there. And it's really, really annoying. I'm glad I've done it and finished it properly, because I was half tempted to just leave it there and never get the actual ending. But Jesus Christ, was that a pain in the arse. I think overall, if it had ended at the first Liberation Rite, it'd have been like a solid 9. As it is, with all the padding, it's gotta be... It's 7.5 to 8. It's still a really good game. It's just, it's way longer than it needed to be, is all. But the gameplay was solid, and the actual rites themselves were really fun. I'm very pleased that I managed to beat Orelek at the end. Getting through most of the constellations now. Wait, cast? I did all the voices. Living Sun. All of these down the right-hand side. Living Sun. How dare you? How dare you not list me? I'm noticing a lot of repeated names. Yeah, sorry we couldn't get you two out, but, you know, I think we did right. I think we did good. Pam, she could have got out. She chose to give it to us instead. Not going to complain. I haven't been paying much attention to this song. And neither of you probably, because I've been talking over it, but I think it's just going over. Supergiant Games would like to thank our families and friends whose support was essential to making this game. I think they're just going over the info we already know. Ah, that's cool. That is cool.
As we bid farewell and return to the stars, we shall find our way home. We shall find our way home. We shall find our way
Very nice. Oh. What's this? I'm past the 10 minutes. I need to end. Stop giving me more. What is this? Come on, scroll faster. Oh my god, please. Why has this ending been so long? Is that the Commonwealth? Or what used to be the Commonwealth up there? The end. Hooray! Hooray! It is actually the end. Oh god. Can I click anything? Can I leave? True Nightwing campaign mode unlocked. Options to return to main menu. There it is. It is done. It is done! Oh, what a long ending. My voice. Whoo! My voice is hurting. That was a lot of talking, a lot of reading. Oh man. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. For the most part, this was a fantastic game. Annoyance with the padding, but overall, very good. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share the videos around, share the playlist around if you can. That helps enormously and I would really appreciate that. And I hope to see you somewhere else for something new. See you then.